Hello everyone, welcome to another class. This time we are looking at Invisible Man by Raphael Ellison, and it's a non-African prose written against the background of racism. Racism, of course, simply refers to superiority of one race over another and inferiority of one race over another. And this time, it is the white race that is superior to the black race. All right? As the narrative opens, of course, we know the physical setting is in America. That's where racism was pronounced in those days. The protagonist of the text does not have a name. They just call him Invisible Man. He is not relevant in America as a black man that he is. He's a representative of all blacks. That's why the writer chose not to give him a name. He's not relevant. So they call him Invisible Man. All right? The reason why he's invisible is that although he's in America, nobody noticed him. His presence is irrelevant as a black man that he is. All right? And as the story starts, we are told that he starts telling the story from underground. How he actually found himself underground, how he started telling the story from underground, we are going to find out in the course of the story. Now, the narrator starts telling us a story about his life, that the white men, of course, loved him because of the speech on humility that he gave during his high school graduation party. The white men loved him so much that when another occasion came up known as Battle Royale, an occasion to celebrate the white seniors, they invited him to deliver another speech. But before that speech was delivered, he was humiliated alongside other blacks. All right? He was blindfolded alongside other blacks, and they were asked to fight for no just cause, and they were busy exchanging blows here and there, so that by the end of the day, they got themselves seriously injured. And they thought that was all. Another thing came up before he delivered the speech. What came up was that a nude white girl was asked to dance seductively, and the blacks were not allowed to have any form of sexual arousal. If they see that your body stands, you are in problem. And then they thought that was all. That wasn't all. Before the speech was delivered, they threw some pieces of fake gold on an electrified rug, and they asked the blacks to go pick them. Many of them got electrocuted, and the white men were laughing at their pains. After all these punishments, all the blacks that participated were given $5 each. And Tatlock, that won, was given extra $5, that's $10. And immediately after that, the narrator was actually asked to deliver his speech. When he delivered his speech, he mistakenly made use of social equality, and they almost lynched him, if not because the school superintendent came to rescue him. And he quickly corrected himself and apologized that what he meant to say was social responsibility. All right? So immediately after that, he was given a scholarship to study at all white college. Okay? All black college, I mean. Beg your pardon, it's all black college. All right? So when he was given that, admission, he had a dream where his father had told him that he should always say yes anytime the white men are after him, that he should not be physically antagonistic, all right, to the whites. Otherwise, they might end up frustrating him. All right? Yes. And of course, he also saw where his father had actually revealed to him that get this nigger boy running. That was the letter shown to him in that word dream, that he should get this nigger boy running anywhere he is. That foretells how the future is going to look like for him. All right? So that by the end of the day, what now happened is that he was given this admission, and he was also, made to drive Mr. Norton, the college trustee, was to serve as the driver, and he was driving Mr. Norton around the college. One day, he had to drive Mr. Norton to the Golden Day, restaurant meant for the blacks, which is also an asylum for those whose heads are not that correct. All right? And he also drove Mr. Norton to the place where Jim Trueblood, that impregnated both his wife and his daughter, are. All right, so when the information got to the college president, Mr. Bledsoe, the college president, Mr. Bledsoe, was not happy with the Invisible Man. He therefore sacked him and gave him 7 letters of recommendation for him to take to New York. So when he got there, he didn't know that these letters contained condemnation of him, that to whom it may concern, get this nigger boy running. If he gets to your office, drive him away. He didn't know. Anywhere he submits the application, submits the letter, nobody calls him back. If he submits the letter, nobody calls him until he got to Mr. Emerson's office. He didn't meet Mr. Emerson in his office. It was his son he met, and it was right there he got to know what is contained in the letter. Be that as it may, he was given a job at Liberty Paint Company. Where he's given a job at Liberty Paint Company, he still faces problem with a white man called Mr. Kibro that does not explain anything at all. All right. Even another man called Mr. Lucius Brookway, a black man, of course, fought him. And of course, the white men set him for an office accident. And he was rushed to the hospital where he was used as a guinea pig for electric shock experiments. All right. So right there, he faced a lot of challenges in the hospital, and on his way, he almost collapsed until some black men saw him, rescued him, and took him to the home of a black woman called Mary Rambo, who took care of him and all of that. Okay, it was one day when he was actually taking his stroll that he saw, some, men who were actually being evicted. All right, that he decided to deliver a speech. It was in the course of delivering this speech that some members of the brotherhood had seen him, and they invited him, and he became the speaker for them in that brotherhood. But another member of an organization known as Ras the Exhorter was against him, trying to fight him at the slightest provocation. But by the end of the day, what happened was that he ended up killing Ras Exhorter. And then there was a riot that goes on in Harlem. So many houses were burnt, and there were a lot of loots from the riot. And the invisible man was being pursued by the policemen, two policemen specifically, and he was running away with a briefcase. And the policemen had thought that he had some loot in his, briefcase. They pursued the guy until he fell into an utility hole. And what the white men did, the policemen, was to cover the hole. And that's why he finds himself right now underground, where he's currently telling the story from, as a black man in America. All right. So from underground back to underground. And that's why the plot structure is said to be cyclical, because the story starts from the beginning and goes back to the beginning to conclude the story. And that's that about the invisible man, whose name is never mentioned, whose identity is not stated simply because of his color of black. Now that's that. In our next class, we shall look at characters and characterization in the text.